Thanks for listening to Two Girls, One Plant.
We're your host, Madison.
And Jillian. And this week we're talking about victory gardens.
Victory. Hello.
This is so neat. Nobody ever used to talk about this. And with the pandemic, it's become a thing. And I can't wait to dive into the history a little bit.
Yeah, this is an interesting topic that's like kind of resurfaced, like you said, in this day and age regarding COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
So we're really looking forward to talking about it. And plus it like has to do with a little bit of the season. Everybody's returning to gardening with the spring. So I'm excited to talk about it. But let's do a catch up, little recap. How's work? How's life? What's new?
Oh my gosh, it's so busy. Like May is just a marathon of gardening. So we are
so garden marathon.
It's crazy. We're so busy. Like everybody, there's always a line of like 45 minutes long worth of people just waiting to get in. I actually just bought some pansies because all of our annuals are in. Yeah, turns out annuals are beautiful and I understand why people love them.
Yeah.
And perennials, I'm hoping it'll come back. Apparently, pansies will come back, so we'll see.
Right.
But yeah, it's been really cool. Plus, I just got a little painted lady from Amanda, Denver Greenhouse on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Really excited about that.
That's awesome.
And I just got a pink princess philodendron pin for my bag.
What? From where?
It's really cute. From Plants and Things on Instagram, like plants, period, and period things. She just did a whole talk with Shane from Gabriella Plants.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yep. So I had to buy the pin and the care guide.
That's cute. That's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute. Maybe you can give me some tips and tricks on my pink princess and what you learned would be awesome.
Heck yeah. I can share the little PDF. It's really informative, actually.
That's
like
cool.
Lots of history. Yeah.
Cool. That's pretty neat.
Oh, right?
Fun.
How have you been this past week?
Good. Just, still settling in. I think we're finally like 98% unpacked at this point. And I did a bunch of reorganization with the plants and everything. And I finally tackled my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I put it on a second moss pole this past week and it looks so good. And my goal is like, it's in the corner of my room and my goal is as it continues to grow off the top, I want to like pin it to the wall so it continues to grow and be like this living thing on my wall. Cause they have like those little like sticker clips and then you can like lift like this clip and like put the stem underneath it and it just like holds the plant up and it helps the plant grow and be happy.
That's clever.
I know. And I have
gosh.
I bought them from Home Depot like a year ago and I've never had a chance to use them. So I think this is the plant that it's going to happen.
Heck yeah. I saw it mounted on your Instagram live and it looks like amazing in that corner. It looks like a monster already. Yeah.
I know. I love it. It's probably right now one of my favorites that it's just like I'm most proud of. Because like a lot of tetrasperma, oh my God, I cannot not. I can't talk right now. Out of all the plants right now, I really am loving my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma at the moment. It's like my flavor of the week. Yeah.
Don't tell the others.
I know. They're all around me. Like, what? What'd you say? So let's get into victory gardens.
Yeah, it turns out this is like actually a pretty old concept.
Yeah, I mean, I remember learning about this in school, like middle school and high school. Like I remember when we got into World War II, like, and we would talk about the front lines and Americans and what Americans were going through. Like I remember talking very vividly about this subject. So it's cool to kind of revisit it. And I'm sure a lot of people can remember this from high school in that time period. So be fun to talk about. But do you want to talk about like how it like kind of started?
Yeah, totally. It basically started with World War I. We had so many people out on the front lines and so many resources going to the front lines to support our troops, to support our allies, that Americans were encouraged to plant gardens, specifically gardens with like vegetables that they would consume and donate to others everywhere. Like any patch of land was potential, and that was a way that they could help contribute to the war effort. So there was all kinds of propaganda that came out that basically helped encourage even amateur citizens to help farmers and become farmers themselves in a way. It's pretty cool. It's actually a lot of informative propaganda, like on how to grow vegetables, how to prevent infestations and diseases. Like they really taught a whole generation of people how to grow food for themselves.
Yeah, that's really interesting because like when it started, it did start in World War One, and like that was such a like crazy time that we had like this huge war happen in the like right around the Depression. So like it's interesting to think about like our history as American people, like, during the Great Depression, we had to ration. We, didn't have like victory gardens until afterwards. So it's interesting to think that during the Great Depression that we didn't like encourage people to go grow their own food, and it took like going to war to do that. So it's kind of interesting the whole time period of it, that when people were during like the Dust Bowl, like during the Great Depression, like people weren't actively growing their own food. So it's just interesting with the time period. But with World War One, as you said, like, people were using all kinds of areas to grow their own food, like rooftops, like churchyards, or like I was reading that baseball parks were one of them. What's that bridge? Golden Bridge? Is that what it is?
The Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco?
Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah, they have a park right next to it, and they use the park for victory gardens, and it's still used today for victory gardens.
It's really cool because lawns are really idealized in America, so it's one of the few times that people were kind of encouraged to move away from that and actually make use of the land that they had.
Yeah.
Which you'd think would be more common. But it's cool. They got their toes wet, right? And World War One ended, and there wasn't as much propaganda or push for it until World War Two, when we kind of had a reboot for a lot of the same reasons.
Yep, absolutely. And like America didn't go to war until Pearl Harbor happened. And once, that happened is when we implemented the food rationing program in 1942. And it's restarted that program of food rationing. So basically just consuming less and growing food more. And that food went everywhere, to our troops, to farmers, and the farmers were encouraged to grow like more like essential large scale products, where like at home gardeners were encouraged to grow like certain type of things. So there would be more of a balance of food. So kind of interesting. And it went on for a couple of years, at least until the war ended in 1945.
Yeah, and there were a couple of cool things that happened during that time. So I know we specifically wanted to talk about Eleanor Roosevelt and kind of the precedent she set. I know she was just a badass, but
I love her.
She decided during all this going on, and while they were encouraging American citizens to plant victory gardens, to take part herself and set an example. So even though the Department of Agriculture and others gave her a lot of pushback, she planted a victory garden on the White House lawn and got rid of some of that lawn space for produce, which is so cool.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's so neat that she just like was like, I'm going to show my support, and she like didn't have to. What is that quote, that really famous Eleanor Roosevelt quote? No one can make you feel inferior without your consent.
That's a great quote.
Love that quote from her. I just love her. She was like one of my favorite all-time first ladies. And another favorite, obviously, Michelle Obama.
Yep.
Miss her. I love her. I miss her.
No kidding.
But the White House didn't have any other type of food-based gardens since Eleanor Roosevelt until Michelle Obama in 2009. And she made that kitchen garden. And I actually remember her doing that.
Yeah, I do too. It was like a huge initiative.
Yeah, huge initiative for healthy eating and growing your own food. I remember she did like a collaboration, I think, with Sesame Street at the time, where they were
really
just promoting
cute. I've seen bits of it.
yeah. Like I remember Elmo was on like baby carrots, and Cookie Monster was on like bags of like celery. I just strawberries and tomatoes. I just remember Big Bird was everywhere. That was a really great campaign. I thought that was so precious.
Yeah, childhood obesity was like a huge issue when we were kids. So it was
Yeah.
like she kind of saw that problem and decided that encouraging kids to get outside and garden and learn to make healthy food
Yeah.
would help, that issue a little bit, and planted like not just any garden, but like an 1,100 square foot garden on the White House lawn. Like it's pretty sizable.
Yeah, that's pretty big. That's
Mm-hmm.
huge. And she used that for the White House kitchen. So it was called the kitchen garden. But that's what they used it for. So it would show, like, I guess, independence of your food. And I think that's kind of what, like, it ties back to with, like, Victory Gardens is, like, Victory Gardens is, like, really just, like, having independence of what you're growing and being sustainable in a way, but also, like, community driven as well.
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit of both. It was a way to just show patriotism and loyalty and
Yeah.
help others around you, feed your own family. It was pretty cool, honestly, all around. And I'm surprised that the government hasn't brought it back up again. I've actually just heard it from random people out and about
Yeah.
that are starting
Yeah.
gardens for the first time because of the current pandemic.
Totally. And what's interesting is I think more like what they grew because like I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I was a picky eater. I did not like my vegetables. I was a basic child. I liked my carrots and like maybe a couple other things. I
More
would
of a
not
chicken nuggets, mac and cheese kind of
girl,
kiddo.
I was
Mm-hmm.
a chicken nugget and hot dog kid, let me tell you. Like but that was all processed food. Processed foods
Right.
didn't come about until like the 1950s after the World War.
Sure.
So it's kind of cool that like during that time period they grew such amazing type of vegetables that I think children and adults alike were very much like excited to eat, and it was very much like a family activity. They really pushed families around that time to like grow. So they grew like beans, beets, cabbage, carrots, kale, kohlrabi, what else? Lettuce, peas, tomatoes, turnip, squash, and Swiss chard. Have like a little list right here, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff on there and stuff that you
Yeah.
wouldn't necessarily expect, like kohlrabi and Swiss chard that aren't as popular anymore.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Yeah. But it's kind of cool. And
Mm-hmm.
and again, those aren't like, what's the right word? I guess like to reference it before, not like a essential vegetable, but it's still vegetables regardless, and it's still sustainable and feeds millions of people. And they have long shelf lives, which is pretty cool. It's easily canned and jarred vegetables, which I think is why they grew it. Like cabbage, come on, kimchi. Oh
They
my
also
God.
encouraged like stuff like that too. Once people
Mhm.
started getting successful, like during World War II, they started showing them like how to can stuff and how to
Mhm.
preserve it as long as possible. It's pretty
Yep.
cool. There was a lot of information that was given out.
That's part of one of my goals. We'll talk more about that later. We have goals we want to talk about with our own gardens, but it's part of my goals.
When they started the Victory Garden campaign, and at the end of it, like they had certain goals in mind. They were able to successfully like boost morale. They did actually alleviate food shortages and
Yeah.
rationing and
Hmm.
minimize the effects of that. It was actually a really
Yes.
successful campaign.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. I'm on the same page now. Yes.
You're good.
Yeah. So kind of cool, right? Like I'm just helping with, again, food shortage, like Jillian said, at home and with our troops. Like
Mm-hmm.
our troops were overseas helping fight Nazis, killing Nazis. You know what I mean? So it's
Sounds like Brad Pitt.
but see, like that. Do you like that? I sound like
Yeah,
Brad
I did.
Pitt. Killing Nazis. But like, I think what's more patriotic than that is like growing your own food and fucking like killing Nazis, dude. Like, that's so badass patriotic.
Yep, that's the American dream right there.
It is. Kill Nazis and grow your own damn food. That's so funny. But it's like, it's cool because like so many people participated in it. So like roughly about like 15 million families participated in the
That's
Victory
crazy.
Gardens, which is so many people. And so that means there was about 20 million Victory Gardens produced about 8 million tons of food. So to like get an idea of how much that is, that's about 40% of America's fresh fruits and vegetables.
That's amazing. That's so much food. It's crazy that they were so successful. Like when people come together and grow their own food, we actually overproduce so much. Like that's crazy.
That's insane. Like that's insane numbers. And like at that time, like food insecurity, I'm sure was a real thing, and I think is still a real thing today. And so to help people not be insecure about where their food is going to come from. Sorry, Luna's like playing with a bone on the floor, and it's like, I hope you can't hear it. We're still recording at home. Yay. Yep. Hopefully we'll be done soon. We'll see. Only time will tell.
We'll see. We're doing our best, y'all.
Yeah, we are. Okay, hold on. I'm going to grab the bone from them real quick. Pause, everybody. Okay, we're done playing with the bone. This is Mommy's bone now. Thank you. It's like it's so loud. Sorry. Okay. Hi, we're back from that commercial break of me grabbing the bone. So let's like kind of shift from like the history and then kind of move into like present day. Because I'm sure you're working at a gardening center, and I'm sure you are seeing the impact that possibly this pandemic is having on you guys, right?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. A lot of people are coming in looking for vegetables, starting their gardens, and a lot of them are doing it for the first time. So it's pretty cool to see. Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. I think that's so amazing. I mean, it's interesting that like, in times of like crisis that people like turn to gardening, because it's just a chance for you to be outside and feel like a sense of accomplishment, I guess. Right?
Yeah, exactly. It's really therapeutic, and there's such a positive outcome. It's like a win-win.
Totally. And I think, during like times of like hardship, especially in our country, like when it comes to like food and like food availability, we feel like insecure and like anxious about that, right? Mm-hmm. And it's similar to what happened during World War I and II, and we just feel kind of like helpless.
Right.
And we're so small scale on like this problem that's going on around the whole entire world. So I think it's just so wonderful that like gardening is a way for us to like have like whether it's like an impact on like others or the community, or whether it's just ourselves. It's like kind of like taking that power back.
Yeah, it's a way to contribute.
Totally.
Even if it's just feeding your house and making a really great dinner that you made from start to finish, or setting up. There are a couple of people in my neighborhood. I'm on like a Facebook group for the area, and they'll set up like a table outside their house that just says take one, and they'll just put food out.
Wow.
Like, there's so many ways to use the food that you grow.
Right.
So I don't know. It's such a cool way to contribute and feel like you're doing something positive while also getting your hands dirty and working through all of the stress that we're dealing with.
Totally. And it's therapeutic in a way. Like gardening is a type of therapy. Like we've talked about that before. In our Plants on the Mind episode, we talked about how it's so therapeutic. Oh, I hear puppies. Yep.
That's ours this time. Leave it, please. Bubba. Bert, he's trying to like have a conversation. He thinks he can like speak to Lucy. Hey. Oh. Sit down, please. All right, this is a losing battle because I can't get up because I'm connected to the computer. It's a really cute pit bull passing the house.
I love recording at home. Now my dogs are starting to bark. Winifred, knock it off.
So, we're back.
We're back. A lot of commercial breaks this episode.
No kidding. So
I love it.
So
we're plant moms, but also dog moms.
Right, exactly. For multiple silly puppies.
Yes, yeah.
So Victory Garden, super therapeutic, super great outcome. Mm-hmm. So I have a backyard and don't really have a lot of time or desire to grow vegetables. Like I have before, but then I never harvest them because I don't cook. So which is really sad, I know. But I decided to go ahead and open up the space. So Madison and another friend of ours, Kat, will be coming in to basically plant some stuff in the garden, a lot of veggies. And so we are actually going to be kind of doing our own version of a victory garden, so to speak, in the backyard.
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting. Jillian's so kind to offer like a plot part of her yard to me that I can tend and grow whatever I want and have
lazy,
fun.
Yeah,
like just kind of chill, like part doesn't have to be this gorgeous whatever, or it can be. I don't know. It's just I'm excited to do it.
Me too. And you've actually grown stuff in the past, right? So what have you grown before?
Well, I've grown a lot of veggies. I've only grown one type of fruit, and it was strawberries. And like, I think I got like 2 off the vine. Yeah, so I kind of gave up on growing fruit.
Fair.
But veggies I've done really well in. Stuff like, tomatoes. Everybody's grown tomatoes. Basil. Everybody's grown basil. Bell peppers. What else? Cucumbers, garlic, onions, radishes, green beans, eggplant.
Yummy.
Curry plants, like curry herbs. Ooh. It smells like curry, and you can take it and dry it and then grind it up and like toast it, and oh my god, it's so
yummy,
so amazing. And I did harvest at the end of the season last year, and it was just our harvest dinner. So it was like kind of like a smorgasbord of like everything that we harvested. And one of my favorite things was I bought a really nice expensive mozzarella and a really nice expensive balsamic vinegar and some French baguettes, and we put the basil and the cherry tomatoes, mozzarella, and the balsamic vinegar on the baguette.
Oh my gosh, yummy.
Oh my god. It was like, that's all I ate. It was fantastic. And I made like honey butter just to pay like homage to the honeybees that helped pollinate. And yeah, it was just like such an amazing dinner.
You're gonna make us all so hungry.
Oh my god, yeah. I went off. I pickled my cucumbers, and I got really impatient and didn't let them sit for very long, so they weren't very good. I tried that because I only had like maybe 4 cucumbers off my vine, and I put them in like this solution, and I remember I could not wait like a day. Like I was like, and I just ate them all, but like I should have waited. So that's, yeah.
All right, so they weren't too bad.
They weren't horrible, but they weren't like, they weren't like a Clausen pickle, which that's my goal, is to make Clausen pickles.
Okay.
I want to pickle everything. So what do you want to grow in the plot? Like I know like we're in a group message with Kat, but like what do you want to grow? What's your goals?
I'm actually trying to be like, I have like really low expectations for it because I have never really grown anything before. So I am excited to grow. I know Kat wants to do Sweet 100 tomatoes, which are supposed to be really, really good. They're like tiny cherry tomatoes that are supposed to be amazing. Yeah. And I know you want to do sunflowers. I think that'll be really beautiful too. I know it's not a vegetable, but there is still a very positive outcome, and I love having flowers around. So I still love watching them follow the sun. Very excited about that.
Yep.
I know that you're each doing your own. So I have these 2 big rail planters, and each girl is having, or like each person's doing their own herb garden. So I'm really excited for that, very selfishly, because oh my gosh, you too. Very selfishly, because I know that like when I wake up in the morning and I walk outside, I'm going to be able to like smell all of your herbs from both sides. Very excited about the prospect of that.
That'll be nice. That'll be so nice. Yeah, that's going to be like hella exciting, just to like have something to like look forward to, and like, but like you said, like have realistic expectations. Winifred, I swear to God, if you unplug this microphone, sorry, she's like on top of the cord. I thought she was about to unplug my microphone. Can you hear me still?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. What was I saying? She distracted me. These dogs are so distracting this episode.
It's crazy. They have a lot of energy today. Clearly, everybody's out for a walk right now because it's a really beautiful day here. Like there's a lot going on.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I was saying.
Yeah, that we're gonna grow some badass vegetables. Like
badass vegetables.
I think it'll be great.
Oh my god.
And anyway, there are so many different types of gardens you can make. So we're kind of just experimenting with different things that we think taste good and that we think will grow well here in Denver.
Yes.
So it's not too much of a plan. But you can definitely theme your garden if you want. I know we talked about doing the Animal Crossing one last season. So last episode.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it either in your garden or my own garden. I kind of, because I want to get one of each color, like the main ones, not the hybrids that you get in the game, but like the red, yellow, and white ones. I thought that would be really cool, and just kind of doing like maybe like 2 or 3 of each. I don't know if there will be enough room is the issue. So maybe like a couple here and there kind of like sprinkled in between the vegetables just to add like a pop of color. I think it would be really cool, and just kind of paying like homage to that. I was actually thinking about getting like a little figurine of like Leaf or Tom Nook or Isabel from Animal Crossing and like putting it in the garden, how you would put a garden gnome in it.
That's adorable.
Isn't that so cute?
Yes, that would be so sweet. I love the idea of having random little flowers here and there too. Yes. I did get pansies partially because they remind me of the game. So I have the huge pot of pansies on the patio. And for those who don't play the game, which, I mean, if you don't, you should because it's really cute. But for those who don't, you can have pansies, lilies, mums, hyacinths, cosmos, roses, tulips.
What is that, 7?
I think or that's 8. Like all the flowers.
There's 8 total. I wasn't counting.
And mums.
Mums.
I don't think I mentioned mums.
Yeah. That sounds right.
So there are quite a few. And then there are like bushes too, like azaleas and hydrangeas, but we're not getting into all that. So
we're not there. We're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
Maybe next year. That would be cool. Or maybe later in the season, depending on how confident we feel.
Right.
But I love that idea of doing something surrounding we should do turnips.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
If we're gonna do an Animal Crossing theme, turnips are needed.
That's fair. We do need turnips then, don't we?
Yep. Yeah. Again, for those of you who don't play, it's like the stock market. Okay, tangent. It's like the stock market in the game. And when you buy turnips on Sunday at let's say you buy them at a low price, you check your turnip prices throughout the whole week at the convenience store. And then some days they spike and then you sell your turnips. So that's how you get
I'm cracking up. But the thing is, if you don't play the game, it just sounds so ridiculous.
I know.
But there's a whole website, Turnip Exchange, so you can go to other people's islands and wait in queues to get on and
people be crazy
at their shops. It's crazy. It's a lot.
People are crazy. I went on Turnip Exchange once and I think I waited 3 hours just to get on this dude's island and I fell asleep and I missed my queue and it fucking sucked.
Alex has done that. Alex has fallen asleep on the queue multiple times. He's also opened up his island to a mass of people before. I mean, it's a whole thing. It's the Wild West of Animal Crossing.
It really is.
I think we're getting off track. So you actually had a couple of other really good garden themes that I want to touch on before we sign off. So what were some of the other ideas you had?
I really want to do an Asian theme garden. So something that is very zenful, but also growing Asian style vegetables or vegetables that are commonly used in Asian cuisine. So that's ginger, snow peas, edamame, bok choy, shishito peppers. And I really want to grow mushrooms. I know mushrooms aren't really necessarily done outdoors, but I think indoors, I really want to grow mushrooms. So shiitakes or baby bellas, something fun like that. And then another fun theme is doing a cocktail themed garden. So think about your mojito or your Bloody Mary or margarita. That's what I'm thinking. So there's like all these like little bits of like citrus and like herbs that you can grow, and then like you harvest that and you like make like a fresh, yummy cocktail. Which
That's so cute.
So cool. I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah, I don't even drink, and I would want to make like a little mocktail with like club soda. Like it's
Yeah,
such
you
a
don't
cute
have to.
idea to have a nice fresh drink.
Yeah. Ooh, that's like a. What if we did that, and then like in the little herb garden area that you were thinking, and then like at the end when we like harvest, we can have like drinks on the back, like made from our fresh herbs.
Yeah,
It'd be
that would be
adorable, but
great.
it requires a citrus tree though if we're gonna do that, because some of these drinks require citrus, and I keep telling Jillian I want to put a citrus tree in her backyard in a pot.
We can
still.
try. It's got to be in a pot, and it's got to come inside. That's the only thing. It's like I have to remember like what has to come inside at the end of the season. But we actually are getting citrus next week at work, so I'm about to go shopping tomorrow for stuff for us. So we'll see what comes in. But yeah, I am kind of tempted. We'll see. It'd be
But
yummy.
they make like I remember last season. It was called a cocktail fruit tree, and somehow if I'm saying this wrong, or maybe I was high when I saw this, but I don't know. But there is a cocktail fruit tree, and it grows limes and oranges and lemons all on one tree.
Like what? That sounds.
Like
I
witchcraft.
believe it because I feel like I've seen that at Lowe's, but it totally sounds like witchcraft. Exactly.
Yeah, like what?
Like magic. What's happening
but
there?
it's like, or maybe it's like a combination of like pollinated, seeds that like crossbred somehow to make this one fruit that represents all this citrus. I don't know, but I think that could be an option if we're going to do a cocktail theme.
I mean, that does sound kind of fun.
So.
I did tell Kat if she is, because this all started because I told Kat I didn't harvest any of my vegetables. So she said that if she could be a part of the community garden, she would make me dinner with the veggies that we harvest. So I definitely see a yummy fresh dinner and fresh cocktails in our future.
I think we should do it.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff will die, and again, that goes back to you saying to be realistic and not having high expectations. I'm just kidding.
We're learning.
Yes, we're learning.
It only takes one good hailstorm, so.
Oh my God, I know. That's going to be interesting how we need to prepare for that. Because what if there's like screens or something? It's like a certain name for it that you like put over. I don't know. See, like, or no, do you just move stuff? No, there's like specific like protection screens for hail.
Yeah, we can probably. I mean, I know people do hoop houses and stuff like that, but we're gonna have to come up with something to put over it, just in case.
Yes. And then we wanted to end on kind of like recommendations to like grow for people who are maybe new to growing in like gardens. Really, like, and I learned this the hard way, but grow what you want to eat. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, don't grow fucking Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, you're going to lose motivation like real quick to take care of that plant.
Exactly. Yep. Like think about stuff that you eat a lot. Think about stuff that you cook a lot of, that you buy a lot of. Maybe have like an idea, like maybe look up like a really fun recipe on Pinterest and something that has like a lot of really yummy vegetables, whether it's like a soup or a salad or an entree. Look at that and look at all the veggies that are in it, and then maybe take from that and grow those veggies. And then that can be your goal, is to make that recipe at the end of the season.
Totally. It's going to be easier to grow stuff that like if you use tomatoes all the time, you know what a ripe tomato looks like, and you know what a tomato looks like when the plant isn't happy and healthy. So it's just going to be a lot easier, and you're going to have a lot more fun.
Totally. When I grew tomatoes last year for the first time, tomatoes are really interesting because when they grow, when they flower, that's when the tomato comes out of the flower. And I didn't realize that. And when you buy tomatoes at the supermarket, that green part is the flower.
Aww.
From the flower, essentially. And
it's a little flower hat.
Yeah, it's a flower hat. I thought it was like so interesting and endearing that I had no idea. And that kind of goes back to like knowing where your food comes from and like how it's grown. Like I feel like there's such a disconnect with our society here in America that like we don't really know how our food is grown or where our food comes from and how it's processed. there's this like weird veil. So it's interesting
it's
kind
true.
of see it firsthand right in front of your eyes, like, boom, I'm a tomato that came from a flower. What's up?
Yeah, and then you can appreciate how much work went into growing that. So when you eat it,
Yeah.
you're going to have a whole different sense of enjoyment. This sounds like really hokey pokey, but I actually have read a book that I'll probably end up recommending in the stories because it's that good. But it's a bunch of different small passages from this Buddhist monk, and one is only a page long. So it's probably the one I'll share, and it's about an orange. But the whole idea is that if you're going to eat an orange, like meditate on it. Think about where the orange came from, how long it took for that tree to grow, to bear fruit, for us to pick it, for it to travel all the way to you. And so when you bite into it, you're going to have a fuller, deeper sense of satisfaction. Like it's going to be the juiciest orange bite you've ever had because you can fully appreciate the journey that orange took to get to you. I don't know.
like
Crazy,
that.
but it gives you such a fuller sense of the food you eat, you know?
I don't think that's crazy. I think it's very much true. And I think that's something that is almost like a good like mantra that can be applied to today. Because I think we're just so used to everything being fast and ready and at our fingertips at any moment, whether it's through like Amazon or, you know, delivery or, you know, going to the grocery store or going out to eat. Like we're so used to that. And to take that pause and really look at our food, like, I think like that says that, you know, like about the orange is like you're appreciating it and you're realizing that you don't need to buy 20 oranges to get that same satisfaction that you do from that one orange.
Right.
You know, and that kind of goes in hand with like the whole overbuying and panic buying right now. That we don't need to be panic buying. I have seen it firsthand and it's still very much a thing. There's still very much a food shortage. We're not over that hump quite yet of having a food shortage here in America. And I think, you know, that's why having a victory garden and returning to, I hate to say this, but essentially our roots, right?
Yeah, no pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended. Really just getting back to our roots and what our ancestors did at that time. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, some of the propaganda called us like soldiers of the soil.
Yeah, soldiers of the soil. What else? Planting victory. Sowing your seeds of success.
Yeah, there are a few really good ones.
Yeah, we'll post some stories of like the pictures of like the propaganda and like the pamphlets. There were like very all that like art from that time period is like very kind of cheeky almost. Very cheeky, very like what's that show? Leave It to Beaver.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Wow, that show's so old. Yep.
Yeah, very much that. What's that other show? It's Ron Howard's
the guy's
in
name.
It. Ron Howard, the director. He played the little boy.
The name of the show is the guy's name, isn't it? It's like shoot. I don't know. It's going to bother me now, but I can't remember.
Should we? Hold on. We're going to take another commercial break and go do a Google search. What is that show? Ron Howard. It wasn't Happy Days. He was in Happy Days. Oh my God, what is that show called? This is really going. We're all going to sit here until I find out. Because it has, what's his name? Oh my God, I am struggling. It's my dad's favorite show.
Can we like phone a friend?
The Andy Griffith Show. The Andy
Griffith Show.
Oh my gosh. And I love that show. I feel so stupid now. My dad's going to listen to this and be like, he's like yelling at it the whole time. It's the show. Anyway, what was the point of that?
Yeah, something about that time and the propaganda.
Wholesome. Yeah, very like wholesome. That was the whole point. Very much like that time period, wholesome. Andy Griffith and Leave It to Beaver time era. Very like Americana-ish. So we're like getting back to that, which is cool. Is the point of that. Thanks for enduring all of our commercial breaks and brain farts today that we had.
Oh, this is such a great episode.
It is. I'm having fun.
Yeah, I honestly hope you all do victory gardens. The truth is, anybody can do it. That's why the government sent out pamphlets to regular Americans so that they could get started.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
I think they should resurface that. Why not during this time?
Mm-hmm.
I think that
It's
would
okay.
be
We'll do it for them.
we should make like our own like propaganda. The two
Yeah,
girls,
our
one
own
plant
victory garden
propaganda.
pamphlets.
Yes. Oh, that would be
Mm-hmm.
funny. Oh, if there's like any fun artists out there who want to like draw or do anything like that, reach out to us because that'd be hella
Yeah,
sick.
right. Let us know.
That'd be
We
so
totally
cool.
want you all to do your own victory gardens. Get rid of your lawns. Let us know what you grow. Send us pictures.
Yeah,
I think
send
it'd
us
be great.
pictures, tag us. Yeah, that'd be so sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited for the season. I'm excited to start working outdoors, and I'm excited to hopefully work outdoors with you. I haven't seen Jillian in forever, so I'm
It's
excited
been a really
to,
long time, you guys. Hopefully,
yeah,
stuff is starting to lift now and we can start doing at least one on one. We have to talk about it in the next few weeks, but it's been
yeah.
such a long time.
Yeah, totally. And I think we're getting there. We're like Jillian said, it'll probably be a couple more weeks,
Mm-hmm.
but we have so many more ideas that we want to talk about in the month of May. But if you have anything you want us to talk about, whether it's about gardening or springtime, going into summertime, houseplants, whatever it may be,
Yeah,
um,
let us know.
yeah, let us know. And you can tell us whether it's on our Instagram at Two Girls One Plant Podcast, on Facebook, on our YouTube channel. You can also tell us on our socials as well. You can follow us on there. And what else, Jillian?
And leave a review.
Yes, leave us reviews. Please rate our podcast. Only 5 stars. If it's 4, I don't want my feelings to be hurt.
Meh.
I'm sensitive. Only 5-star reviews, nothing less. Thank you. It's like an Uber ride.
Nothing but the best. Thanks, y'all. We appreciate
Exactly.
it. Thank you all
Yes.
for listening. We really do love getting to talk to you all every week. And so we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.